Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. This is Dr. Stephanie. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day to join me. So, welcome to this Tuesday's edition of Let's Talk Tuesday, sponsored by Floyd Lee Locums. As you all know, I am Dr. Stephanie. I am your double board certified critical care physician. I work with physicians who are struggling with their jobs, burnt out with their careers, or who just need some career advice. Through my books, webinars, coaching, and speaking, I help physicians discover alternative jobs and careers in medicine so that they can practice medicine on their own terms. So thank you and welcome to Let's Talk Tuesday, which is sponsored by Floyd Lee Locums. I do have a favor. So if you're joining me live, speak to me in the comments section. Let me know where you're watching me from. If you're watching me on replay, type replay. If you like a comment, hit the like button. If you love it, hit the love button. And please feel free to share this broadcast, this Facebook Live, with anybody and everybody that you think can benefit from this information. So like I said, this is Let's Talk Tuesday, sponsored by Floyd Lee Locums. And tonight, I want to talk to you all about locum tenens, 4 common myths and misconceptions, because a lot of people have their own preconceived notions about locum tenens, what it is, what it does, what you can and can't do with it. And I want to take a couple of minutes on this Let's Talk Tuesday to talk about some big misconceptions and talk about the reality of them, because I don't want anybody who is interested in doing locums to miss out on doing locums. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. You know, I'm the biggest locums spokesperson. I've been doing it for about 10 years now. I do locums exclusively. So I just want everybody who's interested in locums to be able to do it. And I want to take a couple of minutes trying to dispel some myths and some common misconceptions. So the first thing that I hear about when I'm talking to people about doing locums is that people are really apprehensive about traveling to underserved and rural areas. So one of the top misconceptions is that, those places are to be avoided. And, people are nervous nowadays with the political climate and all this stuff you hear about on the news about, different types of people not being nice to other types of people. So people are a little bit apprehensive of going to new places geographically and kind of traveling out of their comfort zone. However, I would tell you to get over that. Rural and underserved communities are some of the best places to do locums. And it's because these are the places that have a severe shortage of physicians. So they're the people who are in dire need of your services as a locums doctor. So therefore, the pay is quite competitive, and these places are actually really nice places to work. They just have problems recruiting and retaining physicians simply because of location. So I would highly consider everybody who's considering doing locums to consider doing locums in rural places, underserved places, because those are really good places to work, and you will find a lot of opportunities there. Misconception number 2 is a lot of people think that you have to relocate for your work assignment, and nothing is further from the truth. The great thing about locums is, even though you may have to travel to your locums assignment, you don't have to pack up your family, move across country. You don't have to move and physically be present and set up residence in the place of your assignment. In fact, most locums companies will provide travel and lodging to and from your locums assignment. So let's say you live in, let's say, Miami, Florida. I actually have a friend who does this, is doing very well. Lives in Miami, Florida, loves her life down there, but she does locums in the Midwest. So great job, great hospital there. But for anybody else, the thought of relocating to the Midwest in the cold from Miami might be a little daunting, but she's a locums doctor, so she just flies back and forth. And so that's one of the great things about locums, is that you don't have to relocate and set up a permanent residence in the place that you work. You can travel back and forth. And in fact, the locums companies will more likely than not pay for that. So get that out of your head about you having to relocate and uproot your family. No, you don't have to do that. You can travel back and forth. So the third misconception that people have, and this is very important, is that a lot of people have the preconceived notion that you're going to always make more money doing locums work, and that's not necessarily the truth. There's a wide range sometimes of what different companies will pay for the same assignment. It all depends on a whole host of factors, such as the client, what the client's budget is. So you don't necessarily always make more money as a locums doctor. Most of the times you do, because you're working as an independent contractor and you're in high demand, so your hourly rate should be higher than that of a permanent physician, but that's not always the case. So that's why it is very important that you do your homework and you do your own research to find out what rates are competitive for your specialty, the duties that you will be performing, and in the area of the country. So you have to do your own research. And also, it's very important that you work with a locums company and a locums recruiter that you trust, that is reputable, so that they can be upfront about these types of things and that they can work to get you the highest rate that they can. So for my people who are just joining me, let me know. I can't see who you are, so let me know who you are and everything. I do want to thank you for joining me right quick. So we're just going to recap right quick the top 4 misconceptions about doing locums work. So just to recap, misconception number 1, a lot of people think that rural and underserved communities should be avoided, and that's not the case. Those are the places that you actually want to seek out because they need physicians, they need locums physicians, and so there's lots of great opportunities. Second misconception is that you have to relocate for your work assignment. You do not have to relocate. You don't have to set up residence where you're going to be working. Hi, Zach, how are you? But what you can do is travel back and forth, and the locums companies will pay for that. The third thing is misconception number 3 is that you always make more money doing locums work. And like I said, that's not necessarily the case. And a lot of factors come into play when determining the pay that they offer. But that's why it's very important that you do your own homework, you do your own research, you reach out to different physicians who are working in these areas and these jobs, and you deal with a reputable locums company who is upfront and honest about the process and can kind of guide you and help you to get the highest rate possible. And then the fourth misconception about locums work is that you can't try anything new as a locums doctor. And this is important because a lot of doctors, as you know, are burnt out. And one of the reasons why a lot of physicians are burnt out is because they're bored. They've fallen into a professional rut. They're kind of tired of doing the same old day in and day out, in their current practice situations. However, a lot of these doctors are kind of reluctant to try locums because they kind of feel like it's going to be more of the same thing. But I can tell you that, you can do locums and use this as an opportunity to try something new, to develop a new skill set, to try working in a different type of practice environment. For example, I work with a lot of doctors who are family practice doctors, and I absolutely love working with them because they're so versatile. So if you're a family practice doctor and you are working in a traditional family practice setting, doing outpatient medicine, and you're kind of burnt out with that, well, you can do locums and do maybe some hospitalist work and work, 7 days a month, and do quite well. Or you can switch it over and maybe do some work in urgent care, or do some work in occupational medicine, or there's a whole host of things that you can do. And locums gives you the opportunity to try these things out with really no long-term commitment. If you don't like it, great. If you like it, wonderful. And also locums gives you an opportunity to develop a new set of skills. I know that I first started working as a teleintensivist as a result of a locums assignment that I took. And so it was great because I have since developed tele-ICU skills, being able to do telemedicine. And that was a result of doing a locums assignment. And I'm still doing some tele-ICU work. So, get this out of your head that, whatever you're doing now as a permanent doctor in an employed position, it's the same thing you have to do as a locums doctor. The nature of locums work is temporary, so you can try new things. You can go from inpatient to outpatient if you are in one of those specialties that allows you to do that. If you're OBGYN, if you're tired of traditional OBGYN practice, maybe pick up some locum shifts as an OBG hospitalist to kind of see how you like that, and vice versa. For my doctors that can do that type of thing. So it's a misconception that you can't try anything new, that once you're kind of in a certain role and doing a certain type of work, that you can't try anything new. And the reason why I say that is because when you start looking for locums jobs, you're going to see different types of jobs and different practice styles come up. And as long as it's in your scope of practice, why not give it a try? So those are just some of the things that I've come across when talking with people who want to try locums and are kind of reluctant to try locums. And, these 4 things should not, should not cause you to miss out on some great locums opportunities. Locums is a great chance to broaden your skill set, to try new things, increase your flexibility, more control over your life, more control over your schedule. So we don't want some minor hangups to prevent you from experiencing all of the great things that locums has to offer. So it is very important when you're considering locums or you're doing locums and you're looking for some more opportunities to establish a great relationship with a reputable company with great locums recruiters who you can trust. So therefore, I highly encourage everybody to reach out to the people at Floyd Lee Locums. Contact them at www.floydleelocums.com. That is www.floydleelocums.com. And I know this is the holiday season, but don't use this as an excuse to kind of slack off and not look into doing some locums work, because you need to start looking into things now so that you can have some things lined up for the beginning of the year. So www.floydleelocums.com. Contact the locums expert at Floyd Lee Locums in order to get started today. This is Dr. Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me for this Tuesday's edition of Let's Talk Tuesday, which was sponsored by Floyd Lee Locums. We will talk soon. I'll see you next time. Thanks and bye-bye.